What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Now, in today's first Entitled Parent story, an entitled family rock up to a paintball park and just completely disrespect all the rules. They try and steal other people's paintball guns, they don't listen to the refs at all, and at one point they even come close to taking someone's eye out. This is what happens when you let an entitled family loose at a paintball park. Entitled mum tries to shoot my eye out at a paintball park. So, me and my dad, mostly me, are really into paintball. I got a GO4 and a new freak kit for my birthday, and I like to be comfortable when I'm playing, meaning I don't really like to wear winter clothing while playing. So my dad and I thought we should just wait for spring to roll around, meaning now, before we went to play paintball. Oh, and by the way, a GO4 is a pretty cool paintball gun. As me and my dad are entering the pro shop at the paintball place, an entitled mum comes up to me and asks if I would go easy on her two kids, Entitled Kid 1 and Entitled Kid 2. I say sure because I could tell they were younger than me and that they were new to paintball. Me and my dad are filling up our pods and hoppers so we can start heading down to the field to play. But again, the entitled mum came up to me and my dad to ask if we could give them some paints. Could we have a case or two of your paint, please? Sorry mom, but me and my dad are planning to use all of our cases of paints. Now the entitled mum's husband, the sweet dad of this story, said, Ginny, we should be fine. We can always buy more if we need any more. But they have so much paint though, they aren't going to use all of it. Now, may I remind you that me and my dad are really into paintball, so we usually get 6 cases of paint to last us the whole day. My dad says, if we have any left over at the end of the day, we will give the rest of the paint to you. The entitled mum though snarled at us in disgust, like we just peed on each other right in front of her. Skip an hour and 30 minutes or so, and me and my dad are on the opposite team of this family. Now, call me annoying, but I wanted to get the mum out as disrespectfully as I could, but in a way that is deemed sportsmanlike. Now, at this paintball park, bunkering, when you shoot someone up close, was allowed, and I plan to use it to my fullest extent. As I'm playing, the two entitled kids are not calling a single hit and are wiping off the paint marks. I get annoyed and I go for the hand, because being shot in the hand is one of those spots you don't want to get hit, along with your boobs, crotch, neck, and eye. The first entitled kid starts crying and a referee takes him out of the match. The mum was fuming. She started to walk towards me, and as soon as she was 20 feet away, I popped 3 in her leg and 1 on her mask. The ref pulled her out of the match and the game ended. As we return to the safe zone, the second entitled kid finds a GO2 paintball gun and starts to fake shoot people with it. I snatched it away from him and tell him to never point guns at things. The kid then said to me, "Can I use your gun, please?" No, my gun's important to me and it's also very expensive. I don't want anything to happen with it. Oh my god, I'm just looking up how much a GO4 costs, the paintball gun. It's over £1,000, so that's like almost $1,500. That is an expensive paintball gun. Yeah, I'm not surprised you don't want to let this kid borrow it. But the kid continues, "I want to use the gun now." The dad though intervenes. "Son, let's go over there and look at the other matches." "No, I want to use the gun." Then the entitled mum rolls up. "Why won't you just let him use the gun?" My dad says, "I just got it for him for his birthday, and this is brand new and quite expensive. We just don't want to run any risk of damage." Completely reasonable, by the way. "Oh, come on. Our guns cost like $50 each. Your gun isn't expensive at all. It's just like all the others." The game was about to start, but I realized the first entitled kid had taken my mask. HK Army something, I forget. Probably quite expensive as well, I'm not gonna lie. As I'm chasing the kid around the safe zone, the second kid then shoots me 8 times under my eye with his paintball gun. I turned around to see the entitled mum helping her hex spawn shoot me. I snapped. Me and my dad both said, "What the F are you doing? I could have lost an eye or worse, and you're just helping your son do this to me? The actual F are you doing, lady?" The two kids start to cry, and the entitled mum was crying too. A ref came over to see what the problem was, and the entitled mum tried to play the victim by saying that I was framing them by rubbing paint on my face to make it look like they shot me. I swear, their sweet dad gathered up all his strength to say that his wife and son did it and that he was done with her. The cops were called by me and my dad, and we pressed charges against the entitled mum, and our court date is being decided. And yes, we gave all of our paint to the sweet dad at the end of the day. Seriously, lady, that is one of the golden rules of paintball. You do not shoot anyone with your paintball gun when you're not in the match and when the referees haven't started the round, especially when someone doesn't have their mask on. That is so dangerous. I mean, look, normally a paintball gun shot to your body, even without protection, without, arm or whatever, it's going to hurt, obviously, but it's not going to put you in serious danger. It's just going to, bruise probably. But to the eye, that is completely different. That can obviously take your eye out. I mean, so many things can take your eye out. A paintball gunshot obviously is going to be one of those things that's seriously dangerous. Why try to do that? I mean, even if it happens in an accident, that should never happen, because you should never be, in a position to shoot your gun when you're not in the actual game, in the arena, but actually aiming for someone's eye and then saying afterwards that they faked it by rubbing paint on their eye. My God, like, that's so dangerous. Seriously. Oh, wow. I'm just happy, OP, that, you actually got out of that with your eyes still intact, because for a second there, I was really scared for your eyes. Now moving on to our next post. 3rd grade art critic. Hi, everyone. Yesterday, I read a story here that kind of reminded me of this event that happened back when I, a 35-year-old female, was in the 3rd grade, about 9 years old. It was around Halloween, and during class, we had a lot of small Halloween art projects to do. Making ghosts, small decorations, you know the drill. Now, in my particular classroom, we had our regular teacher, and there was a student teacher as well. I can't remember the name of the student teacher anymore, so I'll call her Karen, and my regular teacher will just be teacher. The student teacher didn't do much of the teaching at this time. I think she was early on in her program, so she mostly just supervised the classroom. For the most part, up to this point, I liked her just fine, and me being me, I really wanted to impress her and be noticed. I was a quiet kid, and was picked on quite a lot, so as a result, I didn't really have any friends. I was very lonely. So one day, leading up to Halloween, we're given an assignment to take black construction paper as a background and use other color contrition paper to cut out Halloween type objects, ghosts, pumpkins, etc., to make a haunted house picture out of the cutouts. In my school, there was a hallway that everyone traveled through daily to get to one side of the school and the other. So sometimes exceptional work would be hung there to be observed by other members of the school. A kind of bragging wall, if you will. So we were told if we did really well, some of our pictures would be hung in this hallway. I was super excited. Here was a chance for me to stand out as something other than a loser. For background, I never understood, and I still don't know why I was singled out by my entire grade to be picked on. My family didn't have a lot of money, so I never got to wear cool clothes or anything, but I didn't look poor or anything. I was well cleaned and kept, but for some reason, I lost on the friend lottery. This continued to happen till about the 7th grade, where I finally met some nicer kids, and I've been friends with them ever since. Anyways, I go to work making my project. Karen, the student teacher, walks around the classroom looking at everyone's art and admiring their work, giving pointers and generally making the other kids feel good about their work. Eventually, Karen goes to sit at her desk as students bring up their finished work to see. I'm working hard, and I've made what I thought was a cold house with lots of ghosts, pumpkins, bats, a full moon, the works, or at least what little 3rd grade me could do. Eventually, I get it to where I want the work to be, and I nervously bring it up to the student teacher to see. I was so excited to find out what she would say about mine. My desk was actually in front of hers, so I'd heard all the nice comments she'd made to the other kids. I hand her my work, and she gives the following critique. Well, OP, I have to say that if I were to select this one to hang in the hallway, I'd be completely embarrassed to have this represent our class. I was crushed. I sadly took my picture back and, nodding my head, I sat down in my seat and cried. I was heartbroken. I'd worked so hard and she thought it was terrible. My actual teacher then came up to me and asked me what was wrong. She asked me if it was something Karen had said, but me, for some reason, not wanting to get her in trouble, I was a real pushover, said no and continued to cry, but more silently. Now sadly, this story has no happy ending. It was from this moment that I believed I couldn't draw and do any art and completely gave up on it. I look back and I wish I'd said something or stood up for myself, but I was such a lonely and sad kid, I guess I wanted to do anything to feel accepted. I'm better now. I still have no art skill because I never worked on it again, but I think because of my experience, I'll learn how to, hopefully, raise my son to be a stronger person than I was. Time will tell. My goodness me, what a terribly sad story. And you can see, right, at the end of that story, the effects that that teacher still has on OP today, just because of the way she's worded it at the end. It makes me realize that, wow, the actions of that teacher 26 years ago are still impacting this person's life today. She's still, right now at the age of 35, is thinking that, oh, I should have done something differently. It was potentially a little bit my fault for, you know, not standing up to this teacher, not saying to the real teacher that it was the student teacher who'd made her feel so bad. But it's got nothing to do with that. That's completely the wrong way to look at it, in my opinion. And it just shows how much this teacher has had a negative impact on OP's life. You're 9 years old. That's not your fault that your own teacher is putting you down like that and saying your work is trash. What a horrible thing to do. The complete opposite thing that you'd want your teacher to do. Even if your work is bad, fair enough if it is. It doesn't matter. You're 9 years old. A teacher can't go abusing their 9-year-old students for working hard and making something that, yeah, maybe it's not amazing art, but they put their all into it and they're trying. Why then go and ruin their dreams? As OP said, she now hasn't, you know, done much artwork for the rest of her life because of that comment, and you know, it's really affected her self-esteem. She could have been a great artist, who knows? Nobody starts out drawing as a little kid being incredible at art, do they? I mean, yes, people are talented, but a lot of artists, you know, they hone their craft over years and years, do loads of lessons with supportive teachers, and they get good at art once they're, you know, 15, 20 plus. Not 9. Do you know any 9-year-olds that are exceptional at art and are, you know, selling paintings all over the world? No, because it's pretty much impossible. This teacher has annoyed me, seriously. I mean, I don't really mind people being entitled because you can get over that, but ruining a kid's life and making them feel bad about themselves and still questioning what they did 26 years ago when they're 35 years old, when it wasn't their fault, that's unbelievable, and that teacher should know better. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this one. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me down in the comments below. Yeah, your thoughts on that final story would be much appreciated because it's an interesting one. Don't really talk too much about, you know, issues like that where a teacher ruins someone's self-esteem at the age of 9. Mental to me. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, drop a like. If you want to see more from me right away, check out the playlist here of all my Entitled Parents videos. And if you are new to the channel, hit this button, subscribe. We're moving towards 700,000 subscribers now, so any help would be greatly appreciated. And I post here daily, so if you are new around here, turn notifications on and you'll be notified tomorrow when I post another video.